If you are a UX designer, UX researcher, product manager, or any other within the tech org who is tired of sending out resumes into the void only to be ghosted or rejected, or if you're currently employed but you are in a soul-sucking job, you know you deserve 50K, 100K, or maybe even 150K more than what you are making right now. What I am about to share with you would change everything about how you approach your career. I'm Kyo, former leader and hiring manager at YouTube, Google, and Airbnb. I worked at Microsoft, Uber, and a bunch of other exciting startups as well that went IPO. I know exactly what hiring managers are looking for. I've personally reviewed thousands of applications, conducted hundreds of interviews, and I made final hiring decisions for roles paying anything between 150K and 950K plus. What I discovered from the inside is shocking. The most qualified candidates rarely get the best jobs. Let me repeat that. The most qualified candidates, people with exceptional skills, impressive experience, impressive background, graduating from Ivy Leagues, consistently lose out to those who understand the hidden rules of the hiring game. I want to be very clear about this. This isn't speculation. This is what I've witnessed firsthand sitting on the other side of the table at FAANG companies and high-growth startups. Today, I'm going to reveal the exact system that helped my clients land premium tech roles within 120 days versus the current industry average, which is 9 to 12 months if you try to do it on your own. It's also this exact system that enabled professionals just like yourself to negotiate between 50K and 150K more in base alone compared to their initial offers. And when it comes to equity, we've seen up to $1 million more than the initial offers. This very system also allowed me personally to command 2.5x higher compensation than my peers in identical level and position at FAANG companies. So this isn't another set of generic job search tips. This is an insider system based on how hiring actually works at the world's most competitive tech companies, knowledge that 99% of job seekers will never have access to. Let's take a moment to talk about the painful reality of today's tech job market. We all know that it's bad, but let's be brutally honest about what you are actually up against right now. For every tech role, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of qualified applicants. And of those, 75% never even reach a human reviewer. They are filtered out automatically by ATS systems, which stands for Applicant Track System if you're not familiar with it, leaving hundreds of qualified candidates wondering why they never hear back. That might sound familiar to you. So think about your own experience for a moment. How many times have you edited, customized your resume for a position that seemed perfect, only to be met with silence? How many follow-up emails have you sent that went unanswered? How many interview processes have you started feeling confident, excited, only to receive the generic rejection email with zero actionable feedback? Each of these moments chips away at your confidence. Each rejection makes you question your value. Maybe I'm not as good as I thought. Maybe I need more qualifications. Maybe I should lower my salary expectations. Maybe I should go for a more junior position. But here's what you might not realize. This painful cycle isn't just emotionally draining. It's financially devastating. Let's do the math on what a prolonged search is really costing you. For a 250K tech role, let's say, you are losing 4,800 every single week that you're not employed at that level. So that's 20K plus vanishing from your bank account every single month. Let's say in a typical 9-month job search, and that's optimistically speaking, because we know that it takes about 9 to 12 months, right? So in a typical 9-month job search, that's over 180K in lost income that you will never get back. And if you're currently employed but underpaid, you can run the same math. The math is just sobering. If you are making, let's say, 50K less than your market value, that's not just 50K lost this year. It's 50K lost every year, plus compounding effect on future bonuses and opportunities. Now, I know compounding effect is something that we all understand rationally, but we truly don't actually comprehend. It's not super intuitive. We're not greedy, but think about what money represents in your life, though. It's college funds for your children, it's your dream home you've been saving for, financial security for your family, freedom to travel or pursue your passion project, early retirement or investment opportunities, right? So every day you stay stuck in your job search or remain in an undervalued position, these dreams just slip further away. But obviously, I understand it's not just finance. The financial cost is just one piece. Think about the vicious cycle, the daily emotional roller coaster. Imagine waking up each morning, checking your email, refreshing your inbox over and over and seeing nothing but promotional messages. No responses from the hundreds of applications you sent out last week. Picture explaining to your partner yet again that you haven't heard back from any of these companies, watching their supportive smile, which is just really masking their growing concerns. Just imagine running into a former colleague who asks you how the job search is going, and then having to put on a brave face saying, yeah, it's going well, just taking some time, reaping anxiety as another month passes, your savings chipping away, and the employment gap on your resume just grows wider. If this sounds familiar to you, you are not alone. I've been there, and this is just reality for thousands of talented tech professionals right now. Not because they lack skills or experience, but because they are playing a game without understanding the rule. And the most frustrating part of this is that it's completely unnecessary. Let's talk a little bit about the insider advantage here. I know the system is broken because I worked inside of it. As a hiring manager at Google, YouTube, Airbnb, and other tech companies, I was part of teams that created these filtering processes. I sat in rooms where headcount planning took place, where hiring decisions were made. I witnessed firsthand how equally qualified candidates received dramatically different outcomes based solely on how they positioned themselves. And my journey wasn't just on the hiring side. I successfully navigated transitions from investment banking to management consulting at Deloitte, then to academia, earning my PhD at a top university in the UK. After that, I was offered a position as a research fellow, then to leadership roles at multiple FAANG companies before building this career coaching practice. So at every step, I mastered the art of positioning myself as the solution to specific company problems, not just as another qualified candidate. In all my transitions, I never had to start over again at a more entry-level position or anything like that, because I know how to translate my stories effectively. This insider knowledge allowed me to command 0.5x higher compensation than my peers at identical roles. So while others negotiate 10K, 20K increases, I secured up to 150K improvements from every single conversation using the exact frameworks I now teach my clients. I was part of the team that took Uber and Airbnb public, giving me a rare insight into high-growth companies identify, attract, and compensate top talent. This is a knowledge that you can get from watching a few YouTube clips or reading a few books or getting some of those typical career advice. When I left my leadership role at YouTube to help professionals like yourself navigate this broken system, I brought something that no other career coach could offer. Actual inside experience making hiring decisions for 200K to 950K plus roles across the full spectrum of tech positions. So I'm not teaching theory, I'm revealing how the system actually works, and the results speak for themselves. 87% of our clients land roles within 120 days versus, as I mentioned earlier, the industry average of 9 to 12 months. The average salary increase, 25% above their previous roles. So this isn't random success. It's a systematic application of our proven so-called lead job search system that I personally developed based on my insider knowledge. So let me share what this looks like in real life. Danny here was a senior product manager who had been job searching for over 6 months. He had an impressive background. He had 7 years experience in product management and 8 years as a software developer. It's safe to say that his technical skills were super solid. And then yet, after sending out close to 100 applications, he had only received 3 responses and 0 offers. I felt invisible, he told me. I knew I could deliver value, but nobody was giving me the chance to even prove it. Danny was starting to question his worth. He was considering taking a significant pay cut just to end the painful search process. But I didn't allow him to do that. After implementing our strategic targeting positioning system, everything changed. Instead of applying to dozens of mismatched roles, he focused on 15 companies who have specific experience solve pressing problems. So within only 10 weeks, he negotiated and accepted a role as a principal product manager, a position that hadn't even been publicly posted. It came through our hidden market access strategy. I wasn't just applying for jobs anymore. I was strategically positioning myself as the solution to specific company problems, just like you showed me. The difference was night and day. And then there's also Sarah, a super talented UX designer who had been with the same company for 4 years. And she was just feeling increasingly undervalued and underpaid. She knew she deserved more, but she was so scared of starting over in a new environment. Every time I thought about updating my portfolio and resume, I just felt overwhelmed, she shared with me. The idea of interviews and rejection kept me stuck in a role that I had completely outgrown. So using our system with the help of ex-FANG leaders support in our program, Sarah completely transformed how she presented her experience. Instead of a generic portfolio, she crafted a strategic narrative around her unique strengths that got hiring managers excited to talk to her, and that's what we want. Her LinkedIn profile went from 2 to 3 times weekly views to 30 to 50, and that includes recruiters reaching out directly. So 8 weeks later, she accepted a $230K offer, which is a $60K increase from her previous role. The entire process took less than 90 days from our first conversation. I wasn't just given a template or generic advice. I was given a complete strategic system for positioning myself in the market, and the confidence this gave me was transformative, something that would benefit my career for the rest of my life. I'm making more now and don't have to commute 2 hours a day anymore, so more time to spend with my toddler. Let me introduce you to Ben as well. Ben is a UX researcher who had been laid off from a mid-sized tech company after 3 months of applying to jobs online with very minimal response. His conversion rate was less than 1%. He started dipping into his savings and his confidence was shattered. I was beginning to think I might have to move to a cheaper city or take a massive step back in my career just to pay the bills, he told me. After implementing our hidden market access strategies and interview frameworks, everything shifted. He stopped relying on job boards and started leveraging strategic relationships to get his application directly in front of decision makers. So within 7 weeks, Ben had multiple interviews and ultimately accepted an offer at $170K, which was $25K more than his previous role. The negotiation framework alone added $25K to his initial offer. I went from feeling desperate to feeling in control. Instead of feeling like I had to beg for opportunities, I was the one evaluating which role was the best fit for my career goals. So speaking of negotiations, I helped James, who is a senior data scientist, negotiate a $60K sign-on bonus for a role with LinkedIn, which he then used towards paying off his old student credit debts, which he's just been dragging around all these years. I would have been happy with the $10K that they offered me. In this market, I didn't think that there was any room for this kind of negotiations. My friends still don't believe me when I tell them about this. That is what he shared with me. And these aren't outliers. These are typical results when professionals stop relying on outdated job search methods and start applying the exact strategies we teach inside our Tech Job Accelerator program. So what exactly is the system that transforms job searches from painful marathons into strategic sprints? It's built on 3 evidence-based pillars that systematically eliminate the guesswork from your job search, ensuring you not only land the next role fast, but maximize your compensation in the process. First of all, pillar 1, you need to get in the right rooms. So stop applying, start getting selected. Most job seekers make this critical mistake. They chase job postings instead of getting in front of decision makers before roles are even listed. You might have heard of something called the hidden job market. This is what they're talking about. Our data shows that over 76% of premium tech roles, especially at the 200K plus level, are filled through internal referrals and direct outreach before a job ever hits the job board. Our hidden market protocol eliminates the randomness of traditional applications by giving you direct access to high-value opportunities. Pinpoint the companies and roles actively hiring or growing where you have the highest probability of success. Tap into the hidden job market using insider techniques that get you in front of decision makers first. Leverage warm introductions and insider referrals to bypass the ATS altogether and directly reach hiring managers. So this isn't just about networking the way most people do it. This is about being strategically positioned where the best opportunities exist. And the result, clients who apply these strategies see 10x more interviews and get more offers in half the time. The second pillar is about standing out as the must-hire candidate. So most professionals assume that their resume, LinkedIn, and portfolio are just like checkboxes that you have to have in the job search. And they make the critical mistake of listing responsibilities and skills instead of positioning themselves as the only logical choice for the role. Having personally reviewed thousands of applications at FANG and other tech companies, I can tell you exactly what hiring managers are looking for within seconds when deciding who gets an interview. Our strategic positioning framework ensures that you don't just meet the qualifications, you become the must-hire candidate. We're going to turn your resume and LinkedIn profile into job-attracting magnets that drive recruiters' outreach without applying. Craft a compelling career narrative that makes hiring managers excited to talk to you. You need to master interview storytelling techniques so you can answer any question with confidence and clarity. And why I know it works? 37% of our clients start receiving inbound recruiter messages within 30 days of making this positioning shifts, oftentimes for roles they haven't even applied to. And the last pillar is about maximizing your offer like a pro, not leaving anything on the table. The most expensive mistake tech professionals make happens during negotiation. Most candidates just try to prove they can do the job instead of positioning themselves as the high-value problem solver. They just accept the first offer without realizing how compensation structures actually work behind the scenes. Or they just negotiate peanuts for the sake of negotiating because they've heard that you're supposed to do that at some point. And they leave tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table because they don't negotiate properly. This is the only chance where you can negotiate that much money in a 30-minute conversation. You will not have that again in your job. Our interview and negotiation playbook ensures that you never leave money on the table again. We control the interview narrative so that you dictate the conversation and eliminate weaker candidates who don't have the guidance. We use proven negotiation scripts that add 30 to 150K plus to your offer with confidence. We maximize the base salary, bonuses, stock, and perks. And we do that without the fear of losing the offer because we know what's possible and how to get there. When it comes to negotiations, results speak for themselves. 92% of our clients increase their initial offer, with some securing up to 150K in additional compensation from just a single conversation. One recent client used the exact negotiation script to increase his offer from 195K to 260K, which is a 65K jump from a single 30-minute conversation. You cannot negotiate that in a 30-minute conversation once you already work for that company. So why does this work when nothing else does? You might be wondering, if the system is so effective, why isn't everyone using it? The answer is simple: because this knowledge isn't publicly available. People are stuck in old-fashioned, traditional ways of applying for a job, which is not working. Also think about it. Traditional job search advice comes from who? Career counselors who've never made hiring decisions for high-paying roles. So think about it. I made close to 7 figures almost 4 years ago. How can someone who never made more than, let's say, 80K tell you about how to get a job that pays you 200, 400, or 600K? How is that even possible? Or it comes from HR professionals who understand the hiring process well, but not the hiring decision-making psychology. Or it comes from well-meaning friends and colleagues or family sharing outdated strategies that might have worked for them, but in a totally different market and a different context. And so the conventional wisdom about job searching is just fundamentally broken. When you think about it, apply to as many jobs as possible, which is the spray and pray method. This actually decreases your success rate. Or you might have heard of network broadly with everyone. Just do a lot of networking. Strategic relationships are actually what matters, not the volume. You need to be shown how to do that in an effective way. Or they might tell you your resume should list all your responsibilities. This is precisely why most resumes fail, by the way. Something that never fails to surprise me is that people might tell you employers might rescind their offers if you negotiate. Our data shows that this is wrong advice. This is costing you a lot of money. Once companies fell in love with you, they really try to make it work. And there are ways of tapping into different budget you may not even know exists. And so how can you ask for something that you don't know is possible? Our system works because it's built from actual hiring experience at the most competitive companies. It's not just theory. It's how hiring decisions are actually made in real life for 100K up to 950K plus roles. And the proof is in our results. Clients landing roles in 3 to 4 months instead of the typical 9 to 12 month search. And the average time to offer is around 100 days versus 300 plus days. Average salary increase is about 25% above the previous role. And so this isn't just a better job search approach. It's a complete paradigm shift in how you position yourself in the market and how you actually get the job in this brutally competitive market. And there's a cost to waiting as well. Right now, you have a decision to make. You can continue with the traditional approach, sending applications into the void, hoping for responses and accepting whatever offers, or you can implement a proven system that consistently delivers faster results and higher compensation. But here's what I need you to understand. Every day you delay is costing you real money. Let's take the 250K salary example that we used earlier. Each week of delay represents $4,800 in lost income, right? So now each month, we already said it earlier, is $20K plus gone forever. So while you are hesitating, other professionals, maybe even your direct competitors, competing for the same roles, are already implementing these strategies and landing the roles that you want. The tech hiring landscape is constantly evolving. Companies that hire today might implement freezes tomorrow. Opportunities that exist now may vanish in weeks. And I've seen this pattern repeatedly. Professionals who take immediate action land premium roles within 90 to 120 days. And those who need to think about it for a few weeks or a few months find themselves still searching 6 months later. And by then they've lost hundreds of thousands of potential income, depending on the target salary. So this isn't about me pressuring you or scaring you. It's about simple math. The ROI calculation is very clear. If this system helps you land a role let's say just 2 weeks faster, you are already ROI positive on the investment. And it's insane to think that we can only speed it up by 2 weeks, because this is what we do all day, every day. We're the expert in this area. And if it helps you negotiate even just 20K more, our average is much higher than that. The program already pays for itself many times over. And obviously the professional skills, the confidence, and the career capital that you build, that just continues paying dividends for decades. If you are ready to stop wrestling with a broken job search system, start implementing our proven lead job search system for landing premium tech roles, then your next step is simple. Make sure you're prepared for your upcoming call with us. Block off the time that you selected on your calendar and be fully prepared. Make sure to read all the emails, texts that I'll be sending you before the meeting, as they are all important. And get ready to take serious steps to transform your career and land your next role. This isn't a casual conversation with a generic free information call. Because let's be honest, if there was a quick fix, if there was an easy solution and a quick fix that I can just tell you in the call that changes completely the trajectory of your job search, you are smart, then you would have already figured it out by yourself. But here's the thing. This is a structured strategy session where we will analyze your specific situation and career goals. We're going to identify the gaps in your current approach. And if our system is the right fit for your needs, we're going to outline exactly what working together would look like. And this is important. Your upcoming call is exclusively for serious professionals who are ready to take action. We only work with a small number of clients each month to ensure exceptional results. And we believe in transparency. So I do want to let you know that our premium coaching programs range from 7K to 15K depending on your specific needs and goals. And this is a significant investment by design. We only work with outstanding professionals who are committed to implementing a proven system and achieving exceptional results. So if landing a role just 30 days faster saves you 20K in lost income, in our negotiation framework adds another 30K to 150K to your offer, this becomes one of the highest return on investment of your career. So if you are serious about commanding the compensation and the role that you deserve, and you value your time, then this call is going to be an incredibly important next step for you. The professionals who succeed in today's competitive market, they are the ones that understand how to strategically position themselves as the solution to specific company problems. And for that, you need to know what hiring managers are thinking, what they are looking for, and you need to get in front of them. So the question isn't about whether you will land your next role. Eventually, you will be landing your next role. But it's whether you'll continue struggling for months and months or land it within weeks from now, potentially with tens of thousands more in compensation as well. So the choice is yours and the next step is clear. I look forward to helping you land your next role.